Hello everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Zakaria the Ghost. I know you guys are always asking yourselves questions like why mountains, rivers, and caves. It is very much important, guys, to speak about these three because so much is happening in these places and people are not even sharing about these things. And I know that, there are a lot of mothers, grandparents, fathers who are having sleepless nights all the time. They just want to find closure. They just lost their loved ones. They lost their grandchildren. They lost their children who went to rivers, mountains, and caves. And till this day, they don't really know what is going on. So I want to show you how important mountains, rivers, and caves is. Because even when the police go to those places, when they find those, people who are no longer with us or who are killed, assassinated, whatever you want to call it, they normally don't have answers. They always been in a situation whereby they will just have assumptions of what might have been happening, at that place. So sometimes grandparents, they even try very hard to stop their grandchildren not to go to rivers, mountains, and caves because of there is so many questions without answers. And when I share this kind of series of rivers, mountains, and caves, I know that there are so many people who want to find closure, who sit down every day and who wish they can hear somebody who has been to these places where their loved ones went and never came back, and people disappeared. There are people that they will find their bodies and others they don't even find their bodies, and we know that people go there because of they will be sent by different prophets, traditional healers, and sometimes when people send others, they tell them that you shouldn't even speak about whatever which is happening here. In my case, that wasn't the case. I was not even told about when you go to rivers, don't even do this. I was just shown and I went there, pray. So that's why when I speak about these kind of things, I just want to speak about them. And others will be like saying, why do you speak about these kind of things? Because they are forbidden, But I see things differently. They are forbidden because no one speaks about these things. And I don't remember, hearing, a certain prophet, pastor, or whoever saying these things that we are doing is a secret. Going to pray to the mountain is a secret. Never speak about it. If you have pure intention of going to the mountain and pray, the same way it was even done in the Bible, your intentions has to be pure. It's something that you shouldn't even hide. But those who are always fighting on, these things, you shouldn't speak about them because of they know the kind of things that they do when they go to the mountains. But I see things differently, that I don't, agree with those who says, we should go to rivers, we should go to mountains and not speak about them. For me, I'm like saying, why should I lose if I have the joker in my pocket? You're losing while you have the ace in your pocket. You want to be a storyteller and you want to round around everything and go to the social media and look at people who are dealing with whatever problems that they're dealing with and, come back and say, I'm a great storyteller. That's not my point. Somebody asked me, a question, what is your purpose? What is your intention when you talk about these things? Because I understand that some things that I say, they rub people the wrong way, but me, I see a different picture because it's either we are going to speak about the things which are happening to us as black people, or we are going to keep quiet and sit down and wait for the Europeans to come to Africa and take these stories and make them blockbusters, and you will see these stories on Amazon Prime, you will see these stories on Hulu, you will see these stories on Netflix, and you will see these stories on HBO. Because right now, these companies, they are in Africa and they are only here to search for these kind of stories. And they don't get these kind of stories. And as long as we keep them and we don't talk, they are going to write a check. Somebody is going to speak about whatever that they had from somebody. Isn't it better as Africans to break the stories and put the stories out there? Because it's a numbers game, like it or not. I was talking about a certain church and I was like saying it looks like it's going digital, and people are saying, no, man, but we need to open our minds and look at how things goes. Because this is all the white medias who are taking the pictures. These are all the white medias who are making business with these top churches who are having followers. Open your eyes. Check the stories. Netflix is here. Those who can tell stories, those who are at the forefront, they are hiring people and they are putting stories out there. It's about time we tell our own stories. You cannot lose with the ace in your pocket. Africa is rich with stories. But the problem is that Africans, they don't think rich. We aim too low. The fact that there is a YouTube now, we can access this platform and start creating content and get some couple of cents because of AdSense, and we are forgetting that actually we can create stories that we can send a direct message to the owners of these big companies that I just mentioned. The same way you see Amazon writing a check to these international people who are saying they have stories. The same way we see Netflix writing a check. Netflix should come to Africa and write that fat check so that we can all rise with our own content. But if we don't do that, they are going to come here and get the stories as little as they can pay us and go and make more money with the same stories that belongs to, I just don't know how to say it. Sit down and look at all the churches around. Just pay attention to all the churches around. Look at what is actually going on. They found a way of commercializing things. Selling water, selling holy oil, selling this, selling books, selling all these things to bring business into churches. They have that capital in because they have the numbers. Even when churches buy certain things, they know that they have the market. They have people that are going to sell. It's the same business strategy. I heard the other pastor when he was saying there is two sides. There is the church and there is the business side of the church. Now they are putting it out there of saying church is a business. And if you sit down and you ask yourself a question, what is the church? Church is a storytelling business because they are telling stories which were written by great authors, edited in one book called the Bible. If you read the Bible, you will understand that it's a collection of stories. And now, that's the reason why you see some of the so-called pastors, they are acting, but now they are over-exaggerating that acting because they understood that this is like a film production. We have to get people. Others, they even have people that they hire to lie when they are giving the prophecy. They will agree with whatever the pastor is saying. Others will even hire people to go and do some research on somebody so that the pastor can come and prophesy on that person's life. And others, you see how they're jumping. You see how they're performing miracles when the guy is the Matrix. You see the guy reaching the hand and everybody's just falling. That's the Matrix. And the pastor saying they are magnetic. They can just do things. They can make things happen. Not long ago, we have seen people saying they can fix bones. So much happened. Now, the so-called leading actors, they are overperforming. Whereby later some of the things they are, starting to be revealed that, actually that was staged, that was staged. The person was not even on the wheelchair. Or that was actually staged. The person was not, you know what I'm saying? It's all a stage play. We are struggling to identify the right church these days. So there are those who understood exactly what is going on. And they made it in a way that they will put it on TV. Just like movies. They will go and shoot it. They have people with cameras and everything. They shoot everything and they put it on TV. It will be edited. They want the part that they want it to be there so people can see and believe. They put it on on the TV, and they will come and have the marketing team. You see the pamphlet. People walking around when you pass, they said, come to our church this Saturday. They are doing the marketing the same way they give you the advertisement of saying there is a movie which will premiere on this, what do we call them? Stekeniko, on these, places where you go there, cinema, what, where you go and you watch it live. Now, when you go to church on that day, you are going to see people falling, people speaking in tongues, people, doing all these type of things. It's the same concept. But when you open your mind, you look at things that way, you put yourself in a danger. Of course, people will hate you. Of course, people will want to kill you for saying these kind of things. But we are dead anyway. Why should we even fear death? Because now, here is the thing. Sometimes we fear so much. We fear to speak about certain things, or we fear to do, certain things. And those are actually the things that we are supposed to do so that we can be free. It's just sometimes we fear so much in a way that we even deny ourselves happiness. There are people who are in a routine, they just want to do the same thing every day because it worked for them. And forgetting that there is a thing that we call a ceiling. Once you do the same thing every day, you don't want to grow up, you don't want to do some new stuff. There is a thing called ceiling whereby you cannot do more. This is your norm. This is the thing that you just love to do. This is the thing that you want to do every day. 10, 20 years later, you see somebody who's younger than you doing some crazy things, recklessly, going to places, traveling and doing stuff and achieving more, and you start becoming jealousy of saying, you cannot do that. Who said you can speak about that? And when somebody asks the question, who said you were not supposed to do that? And sometimes when you start asking those type of questions, people are afraid to do something because of somebody told them that is forbidden, you mustn't do that thing. When somebody younger than them goes and do that thing, they want to go to that person and said, you know what, you are not supposed to do that thing. Who said I'm not supposed to do that thing? And who told you that you're not supposed to do that thing? And let's find the person who told you that what you are doing was wrong because of you telling me that what I'm doing is wrong. Because people have this tendency of putting fear into other people. Actually, they put their own fear into other people's lives. But now, there is one question. You might have this kind of prophecy and the things that you want to say, oh my God, you will get killed talking about churches or talking about this and that. But who is not going to die? Because death is guaranteed to everyone. Even any church leader, any so-called man of God, death is guaranteed for everyone. So if I'm in a space whereby I'm still breathing on earth, and I can speak about what I want to speak about, I can think about what is disturbing me or what I see disturbing other people, and you want me not to speak about it, what will it benefit me when I'm dead? If I don't speak now, because I want to speak, so you mean I should speak when I'm dead? And go and bother children and become the ancestor who is unhappy because of I saw some certain things that I didn't like and I wanted to talk about? There is a thin line between genius and madness, I know. But here is something that I just discovered. That everything that you want to do in life, you can sit down, strategize, plan about it, talk about it, go everywhere and make a lot of noise about it. If you fail doing what you've been bugging about, it becomes madness. But if you succeed, you will see your grandchildren telling people one day and they're saying the old man did it his way and we want to remake his movie. We want to rewrite his book. And you are celebrated and people will say the old man was genius.